that's enough horseplay. Several decades ago, I was horsing around with my dad and picked him up and threw him on the bed. It didn't hurt him, but made him realize I was far stronger than he was. He wasn't a small man or weak either. It's just that I had been hauling hay, lifting weights, and playing football, so he decided that was enough horseplay. Fast forward 30 years, and I was horsing around with one of my son's high school buddies. He was a little bigger than me, so was shocked that the old man could stand toe to toe with him. Well, he went away to college, and when he came back home for spring break, we started horsing around again. I immediately realized he had gained muscle weight, and I couldn't stand toe to toe with him anymore. So I said, that's enough horseplay. Now, consider these events in light of Abraham taking Isaac up on Mount Moriah to offer him as a burnt offering. Isaac wasn't a toddler anymore. He was a young man, a lad, the text calls him in Genesis 22:5. And since he carried the wood in verse 6, it's likely he was a teenager. And having been raised to care for animals and do hard work, it was likely he was fairly healthy. Push come to shove, he probably could have taken the old man if he had wanted to resist. Think about it. If Isaac was 15, that meant Abraham was 115. At the very least, Isaac could have run off the second he realized he was the sacrificed. He could have said, that's enough horseplay, and left. But he didn't. He stuck around. And rather than fight his dad, he submitted to his will and let himself be placed on the altar. Yes, he was bound in verse 9, but it was most likely to keep him from any last-minute movement to make Abraham miss or mess up. What this tells us is that Isaac was compliant. If there's any word that describes his life, it's compliant. But you know who else was compliant? Jesus. Isaac was a type of Jesus who was the ultimate compliant one. No mob, no rope, no nails, no cross could have held him if he had refused to comply with the will of the Father and go voluntarily to the cross for you and me. Well, what about you? When it comes to the will of God, are you compliant or defiant? If you're defiant, stop the horseplay and comply with the will of God. And comply with my request to come back tomorrow for another Morning Minutes in the Bible. Until then, this is James McClenny hoping you have a great day.